As a disclaimer, Monster Fuckers Anonymous is indeed about wanting to love and have sex with monsters, but we want to make things extremely clear from the get-go. Not all of the chosen monsters will be sapient, but we will not be endorsing zoophilia or bestiality. We will be as transparent and ethical as possible, while also sex positive and mostly having fun.
Vampires that stalk in the night, werewolves that howl to the moon, dragons that loom over the skies. These monsters and more have plagued mortals for millennia, clouding our minds with one singular thought.
Can we fuck 'em?
Fiction or reality, which one should we be? Don't think that I'm that naive to see the fiction or reality of things you've done to me. Now all this stupid shit is on repeat.
Hello, one and all, welcome back to another fantastic, wonderful, stupendous episode of MFA, aka Monster Fuckers Anonymous, a show where we talk about monsters, talk about the lore, talk about their media representation, and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, whether or not you sitting in the dark corner of your room, just eating a bag of Pringles. I know what you're doing, you fucking weirdo. But listen, you deserve love too, and you deserve to fuck some monsters. I'm your colorful creature consultant cleric, and with me, as always, is our tentacle analyst, Joe. I was almost going to call you my title, but you don't know. I'm
no,
my title.
It's not me. I would never be colorful. I would never be creative. I would never be named cleric. I would never be a content creator named cleric.
Okay, all those things seem very hurtful. I'll be real right now. A little, like some of those things were just straight
no,
hurtful.
I don't know what you mean. No, it wasn't.
All right, Joe. Between the hurt that you're sending me, what are we talking about today?
So this was another weekend where I was busy praying.
You were praying? Who were you praying to?
I was praying. So you know when you were praying to a god that makes you sacrifice turtles.
Turtles?
Yeah.
That's very specific. I don't think I've heard of that god, but to each their own. But you were too busy to.
I was too busy.
Wow, Joe, this is a very we MFA here prides ourselves on our work ethic and our professional attitudes. So honestly, when the performance reviews come around, you will be getting a demerit.
All of us, including the guest, didn't have a description before starting this.
You know what? Right now, I'm calling HR to send a replacement host from you.
We don't have more than 30 people to warrant having HR. Joe, how do we have the budget for?
I'm on the phone. Hello, Mom. Can you send them up? Thanks. As they're walking up the stairs now is your replacement, and your replacement is beloved full replacement, beloved personality, RekItRaven.
First of all, I'm not replacing anybody. That's a lot of work. Okay. And let me tell you, I am on very minimal effort. So I'm not replacing a goddamn soul.
Yes, thank you for joining us today, Raven. Tell the people who you are.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited. I'm Raven, or better known as RekItRaven. I am a content creator, TTRPG performer, little baby GM. I do a lot of weird things because I'm a weird person. You know, I am your unwholesome goth friend, and I like fucking monsters.
This is very true. This is all very true facts. As somebody who's met Raven in real life, I know it.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? Mm-hmm. Shut the fuck up.
I've held Raven in my arms.
You did. That was a nice moment.
Wow. This is gross. Raven, talk to me about what you want to talk about in this episode.
I'm sorry. I know, Christian, I gotta go.
Yeah.
So we are talking about eldritch beings, eldritch entities. We are going to be talking about lots of tentacles because that comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm. So if you don't like that, get on out.
I'm just saying, like, I know y'all be watching hentai. Don't.
All right. Well, I didn't want to, hands up. You caught me.
You don't need hands when you got tentacles. I'm not buying that.
Honestly, yeah, it's the appeal of tentacles at a certain point, but also, well, actually, this is what I want to ask, Raven. What draws you to eldritch beings? What makes you think they're so attractive?
I don't know if it's attractive, but no, I like the kind of the dichotomy of what they stand for, right? It is like this all-powerful, like malevolent, not benevolent.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, benevolent, whatever. Anyway, malevolent creature, but when, like oftentimes they're exiled.
Just when?
Yeah, like when are they? They're supposed to have like infinite cosmic power. Don't say it. I don't say it. But they don't actually use it. So like for me personally, it's really interesting to see, or read stories about these creatures who are like, ready to drain the sanity of men. But they can't even do that because they are
like trapped
literally
in like
trapped in another solar system, universe, wherever, or they're sleeping.
Yeah. I think that's actually that's super interesting. I think you bring up such a great thing of where it's like they have the little bit of influence that they have, like you have to really be looking out for, and you really got to be like attentive to and like try to find their influence in the world. And that's like for somebody who wants to find, love and, fucking the effort, putting in effort to trying to be with somebody, maybe that's what you need.
Trash.
Why? You want to elaborate on that, Joe?
No.
All right, then. With that failed elaboration out the way, I think it's, yes, the show works for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time. I've picked an eldritch being, Joe has picked an eldritch being, and Raven has picked an eldritch being, and we are going to talk about them, rank them on a scale of 1 to 10 to find out which one you should be, the best one eldritch monster that you should be fucking. And we will have a numeric score to know which of us has picked the best one and which of us is better. And I'm going to have a number that I can hold over Raven's head for the rest of the time being, I am better than you.
Wish.
I am better than you.
Listen, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good luck with that.
I know. I don't need luck when I'm going to win. Simple. Tee-hee-hee.
Yo, for real, like they already got to you, didn't they? Because you're losing your damn mind.
Maybe. Anyways, are we all three of us ready to start? Get on into this?
Yeah.
Actually, one more thing before we start. I don't want to say this with my whole chest. Fuck you, H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're loser.
I'm so happy you're dead.
Yeah,
that's really
honestly,
I would piss on your grave, dog. I'll be real.
I would too.
You know what?
I would absolutely fucking
Why
piss
don't we
on your
take
grave.
a road trip to piss on H.P. Lovecraft's grave?
No, I'm tired. I'll do it in my head.
I'm
though,
not driving to piss on anything anywhere and then just leave.
Hey, listen, I've done weirder for less. Anyways, I'm going to start this week's episode.
Perfect.
And I've picked one of my favorite eldritch beings just in general. I've loved their lore. I love the idea of them. I've actually played them in a Monster Hearts campaign, like the basis of this character. And I've chosen Hastur, the King in Yellow. Out there in the world right now is a play so influential, every artist has read at least a part of it. A play so infectious, it has been banned, condemned, and censored by governments all over the world, and yet it still exists. A play about a king alone in a realm known as Carcosa, where twin suns sink behind the lakes, where black stars illuminate, where a king, clad in yellow, dons a mask and waits for you to do the same. Beware all who read the play, for once you lay your eyes on the yellow sign, forevermore you belong to Hastur, the King in Yellow.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's really interesting. The King in Yellow has a certain vibe that I think is very different from most other Cthulhu eldritch horror beasts in general. One, he's not written by H.P. Racist. So I think that's...
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was originally written by someone else. Their name is Robert Campbell or something, or Robert something with a C. And it was written, and The King in Yellow isn't written to be malicious. Like H.P. Lovecraft made them malicious, but in the original, it's less... there's less anchor to it. It's more of this man the king causes insanity, and that's it. So we never truly meet, in the original works, we never truly meet the king. We only have the idea of, which is this play. So the play, you read it, if anybody who reads it, they immediately can never get the play out of their mind. either in the back of their mind or it's always influencing them. It's like infecting every artist, actor, writer. As long as you have the desire to create, you will eventually read this play. This play, we only have 2 lines from it to ever exist. We only know 2 lines of this play, or 2 like scenes of this play that are very brief. You read the play, you go insane, basically. And you start to think you are the king, that you want to be influenced by the king, that you are some realm of the king. The king in yellow is just who influences you to do all this. And the symbolism behind it, I think, is great, but I'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, so the king in yellow is also then been taken by Cthulhu lore. So the king in yellow is this very tall figure, wears a mask, crown, has a lot of octopus tentacles. They made a difference where it's not like squid tentacles, it's octopus tentacles, constantly like draping down. And Hastur is actually the half brother of Cthulhu.
Interesting.
And hates Cthulhu for it. And that's why they influence the mortal realm, because they're building an army against Cthulhu. So anybody who sees like their symbol, their sign, the play, is immediately bewitched by the king in yellow and become his servant for the rest of your life.
So do you know what this
interesting.
reminds me of?
What does it remind you of?
So it reminds me of one of those fanfic writers that has truly written the most prolific cursed fanfic of the year, or like within like the 2 to 5 year span, that everyone has to read because it's so fucking crazy. And it's just somehow becomes prolific classic writing in like just like content creator space, like internet, online communities. This is a creepypasta writer. This is an author of a creepypasta that didn't even get paid for it. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I do want to just lay that out there. But this is almost as if, yes, I'm going to go pursue the person who wrote, I don't know.
You wrote the fucking, what is it, the Dan and Phil milk thing?
The Dan and Phil, the milk, the Panic at the Disco milk. Was it Panic at the Disco or Dan and Phil milk?
I don't know. It was something involving milk. I can never not think about it.
It'd be like that. It do be like that.
Milk should not go in, as a PSA, milk shouldn't go in any of your holes.
Oh.
Just
Sorry.
letting you know.
I had a moment. That was visceral. Damn.
So sorry.
Now, like, I'm thinking about it, like, why?
For the milk or the fanfiction?
Yeah, no, I'm stuck on this milk. Like, you have to understand, like, as somebody with ADHD, I'm just going to hyper focus on really silly things, and that's going to be it for the rest of the day.
And this is what the king in the yellow, the king in fellow does.
Yeah, you know, that's actually a good point. This is something they'll make you hyperfixate on something. Like one of the stories that the king in yellow is in is they hyperfixated this person on, they thought they were the next in line to take over the king.
Right.
And so they ended up killing people and like trying to overthrow the US government. Ended up getting getting thrown into an insane asylum. Another one was like a romance. Some guy was in love with his best friend's girlfriend, but he was like, I want you to have your own love. But because they had read the play and because they had slowly been influenced, all of them had been influenced by the King in Yellow. One of them like fell into a vat of statue paste, and then the other one killed himself because of it. And then he inherited all the money from the person that had killed himself.
This story took place when America existed?
Yeah, The King.
Damn, holy shit.
H.P. Lovecraft came out in the 20s.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't know why I was like, I don't know.
Because it feels far off based off of who we know that Lovecraft was as a person. Because he is, you know? But yeah, like this is still like relatively in the history of humanity, it's relatively new, and it was happening. A lot of this was created and written, and like this mythos was created and written while the United States were really starting to expand and like industrialize. Like there was a big industrial boom and a lot of immigration. So, you know, poor white man was upset and wrote all these like horrific stories to kind of put into perspective how he felt, which I can respect as a creator, but like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's actually super interesting. I didn't know that about like where he put that through and like the kind of lore that came with it. And I think that actually influences a lot of what the King in Yellow is about. Mm-hmm. Because the King in Yellow is not as malicious. Like the original writings of it, that not of H.P. Lovecraft, isn't that malicious. He's just influencing people like to be kind of crazy, but also like influencing the world around him. And an interpretation of the original books is that what the King in Yellow represents is idealism and the impact words can have. So like your idealism gone to the most extreme can be like taken fanatically. Like the guy who ended up thinking he was like, I'm going to be the King in Yellow, took it too far by trying to overthrow the U.S. government, killing his cousin, killing like a whole bunch of people to do that, which led to him being insane. The friend who fell in love was so obsessed with the love that he wanted that he was willing to put murder and like do and steal and all that kind of stuff. And the play is such an integral part of it because the play, when you read it, you can never get it out of your mind. And that's the impact that words can have on somebody. It can have on the things you create can have on people. So it's a cautionary tale to be careful of what you put out into the world because of how it can influence people and how it can it'll impact people just more than yourself.
Did you bring and choose probably the best deity, the best entity out of this entire episode already?
I mean, I said it on top of the round, so I ain't gonna say nothing.
Don't.
I said it on top of the round. But no, I greatly like the King Yellow. One, because of the design. I think the design looks fucking sick. Of like a king crown, mask, yellow cloak, tentacles.
You got Robert
down.
Chambers, BTW.
Yes, Robert Chambers.
Oh shit!
It looks really.
You know
cool.
what he reminds me of?
What?
A little bit. The Mask of the Red Death.
Oh, that's a good pull.
Totally.
That's a good pull.
Because it's very like, forgive me as I choke. Sorry,
everybody.
It's very like this entity that truly like thrives on creating chaos, in perceived order.
Yes.
Right? Because order in and of itself is a perception. So it reads very similarly to that because in the Mask of the Red Death, you have this like faceless entity who like basically takes and kills silently all of these people who, you know, are royalty. They're in the upper echelons. They're rich. And because the city surrounding is getting sick, they lock themselves in and just like drink and fuck and eat and like are merry while death and destruction is happening all around them. And then this entity comes in and is like, oh, you thought you were untouchable though. So it's very there's some similar themes there that automatically kind of bridge between each other, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, that actually sounds super fucking cool. And I think that's a really good connection between the two. And I think that's what draws me to, and I think should draw more people to the King in Yellow, because the King in Yellow is, like I said, is the least malicious of the malicious. It's more like, I'm gonna make you crazy, and I'm gonna influence you, and I'm gonna you're gonna be my servant for the rest of your life. Like, you'll never get rid of me once I'm in your brain. Which is why I wanted to paint a picture for you all of who I think the King in Yellow would be if we were to have him as a lover. And what kind of lover they would be.
Right. I forgot the
point
of the show.
Sorry, we were getting into philosophy. That's
Listen,
that.
This is why I love that kind of talk in the show. But I wanted to paint a picture of how I think the King in Yellow is. And it's not gonna be great. I'll be real. I don't think any of these eldritch beings will be good. Like good lovers or just good people.
He's so beautiful though.
He's so pasty.
So cool.
So I want you to imagine that you're a talent.
He's so jaundiced.
Okay. He has so much liver disease.
Oh my god.
He's got breastfeeding jaundice.
That's all that colostrum.
Actually,
right.
Cleric lore.
It's real.
Cleric lore. I was like
you were jaundiced?
I was jaundiced when I was a baby. I don't like the science I follow that. But anyway.
All right.
But anyways, the King in Yellow, it would be like if we were we are content creators, but imagine we were in a management company. We get influence, you get like a contract, and you get signed by this management company who is like this super influential, like they're gonna make you millions of dollars. And you meet like the CEO or like the head of management, and it's just like this tall person, like 6'9", but gaunt. Like
6 foot jaundice.
6 foot jaundice. Like black suit, black tie, like black dress shirt. The only thing they have.
What do you mean black suit? Yellow suit.
No, let me.
I'm sorry.
Let me cook. Black suit, all that. The only thing about them that they have is like these yellow glasses, like sunglasses that they have on. And they're looking down on you and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to make you so famous. Like, I'm going to help you create a brand. But then they slowly start influencing like what you do. Like you thought, oh, I was having fun doing this. But no, now you're doing a cooking stream with somebody you didn't even know. And it slowly just starts expanding from there. And it's like this person is like in your life.
They are the influencer meta.
Yes. That's who I think the King in Yellow is. If we were to bring him to a modern day, he'd be that. He'd also be
I would never fuck him. I would literally steer clear of him.
Yeah.
I would be like, I don't like you. You talk too damn much and you're full of yourself. Goodbye.
Exactly. That's who like the person, I think the person would be just like this influencing, just a weirdo. Even in the bedroom, I think he's super controlling and or not like controlling or just being like very passive aggressive or like
trying to role play all the time.
Yeah. He's like,
y'all can't see my face, but no.
Kind of hate this.
Yeah.
I don't think any eldritch being would be a good lover. I want to make this very clear. The concept of the King in Yellow is a great concept. Putting into actual practice of your individual life, it's going to be ass. Because this is somebody who wants to drive you crazy. This is somebody who wants to like influence you for you to do what he likes. Like you're going to meet him.
But how do we reframe the drive you crazy? How do we reframe that to be sexier?
That's your job.
Okay.
I present things and present them in these creative and fun ways, and usually you're the one who
creative and fun.
Gaslighting is fun. I don't know if you can do it right.
Quote him on it. Clip it, gamers. Okay. Anyway,
know how to make that sexy. Like I'm thinking about it, and it's like, how can that be hot?
There is a way. And we've all experienced it. Shout out to the game Sucker for Love.
Oh my God.
Because the King in Yellow is in Sucker for Love. I forget the character's name. It starts with an E. I think you said earlier, Joe. S-tier. And in that, she, like, the character that represents the King in Yellow is like this playwright. In there, she's just like this very haughty-toddy, like, lead of a play, and she's like a ruler. She's like, you are going to listen to what I'm doing. You are now going to be a servant for me. Like, you're going to read this play, work for me for all eternity, fall in love, and do all that. They frame it kind of in a positive way where you influence, like, you like, I love you, like, I'm going to devote myself exclusively to you, and it influenced her, and she's like, oh my God, I will only be nice. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm rich, but I will only, like, you're now my sugar baby, like, kind of thing. And so you get married to basically like a rich a princess or a rich queen, and you never have to do anything again in your day in your life except pamper her.
That's so boring. That's so boring, though. Like, what life is that?
A life where you do nothing, and I'm with it.
No, hell no.
Any sugar mamas out there who want to sponsor me, please let me know.
Don't do it. You will regret it. Don't do it.
It don't matter.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them.
Possibility wise, what are we working with? What are we working with in terms of like, how do you approach? Is it a matter of just opening a book kind of thing?
The King in Yellow is probably the one that influences the mortal realm the most. They drop down the yellow sign. So as soon as you've seen the sign, you're influenced, they're in your brain. They have the play that goes around all around the world. That's something that you encounter, which is a property of the King in Yellow. This is like, I think all eldritch beings are tough because the actual person ain't coming into the realm unless you're trying to start the end of the world. So that's very rare as to what's going to happen there. But I think it has the most influence of an eldritch being. I'm going to give this a 5, just a straight 5 off the back.
I think so too. It might even be more actually for me personally, because if it is just a matter of like chancing upon literature, especially literature that like at this point we could probably like in the 20s you couldn't just get the King in Yellow as a PDF, like a stolen PDF or anything like that. Like you really had to fucking work for it. But like now I feel like a 6 or 7 I'm ranging on.
That's fair. I think that's a pretty fair one. Raven, what are you thinking?
So I'm probably going to say 7. I think that it is quite possible, especially in a digital age, because we have access to all of the information. The only reason why I wouldn't score it higher is because sometimes there's an overabundance of information. So you have to sift through some stuff to get to it. But I think it would be more likely than not.
Nice. All right. I'll take it. I'm surprised mine's the lowest, but all right. Attractiveness. How attractive do we think the king in yellow is based on their personality and their appearance? I will say, if we're going by their sucker for love appearance, that's a 9 out of 10. Easy. Even if we're going by the regular appearance where they're just this giant, like 11 foot tall.
9 out of 10.
Full of octopus tentacles. So they got suckers on there just like all up on your butthole.
I hate
Oh
you.
my lord.
Imagine that, just all suckered around. That seems hot. I'll be real. Like, if you're into markings and it's an octopus tentacle, imagine those like little suckers all around your body. That's proof that you fucked the king in yellow. That can be hot.
Just going off the sucker for love, like 9. But if it was not going off sucker for love,
With the little picture that I painted.
4.
4. Damn, 4?
Yeah. Like, listen, I'm going to be real honest. Like, I don't want just bones. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's not.
I need something to
You're
grab
fair.
onto.
I mean, there's mad tentacles. He's grabbing onto you.
No, because I'm not a bottom ass bitch.
All right, then. All right. All right. Just call us out here.
Listen, I'm just saying, like, I have to be in the mood to bottom for somebody, and I'm currently not in the mood to bottom for nobody.
I respect it. There ain't nothing I can do about it.
That's
I
so
respect
valid.
it. Audacity.
Pretty audacious. Not as audacious as I'm sure the rest of these cosmic entities that we'll be pulling.
He's like I said, he's the most easy to get around because he's like
5.
in the playbook.
Yeah, I think for me this is a 5 because it's really just a matter of like where the fuck you go. I guess 4.5 because you do go insane. You do experience in some intense bedlam.
Insane in the
but
brain.
It
Insane
doesn't.
in the
It's not
brain.
horrible.
Insane in the brain. I'll echo a 5. I think I'll echo a 5 with it. Raven?
I think so too. I think it's more of a calm than it is like in your face. And I respect
Yeah.
it because it still takes, some testicular fortitude to do that.
My balls are ready. Knees weak, arms are heavy. Anyways, so last one, parental approval. Would our Christian immigrant parents
Interesting.
approve of the king in yellow if they were to appear? Let's play this in the
Interesting.
realm of like, this is the person. It's not a giant demon monster, eldritch being. This is the person walking in with what we know about the king in yellow. The answer is a maybe.
Yeah.
If he gaslight gatekeep girl bosses who waited to the top, ain't nothing I can do about it. He seems like the type that would change you. Would be the one to be like, babe, you should wear this, not this. Like, you should be wearing.
Oh,
like,
boy.
Don't
this
wear
and
these
them.
jeans. It makes you look a little fatter.
Yeah, I like you when you wear these
Yeah.
jeans. You know, actually, maybe you
You
shouldn't
mean
wear.
you had 3 tacos instead of 2?
Mm.
You shouldn't do that.
No.
Like that's
I thought we were
I don't-
watching our figure, kind of thing.
My God.
Oh no,
I'm. Ooh,
we can change scores.
I-
We can change scores.
Yep.
What do you
Negative.
want- what do you
Can
want?
we go negative? Just kidding.
I don't
No,
even know.
parental acceptance. I don't freaking know because, like, first of all, I'm trying to put myself in a situation where it's like, would my mom approve? And like, I don't seek my parents' approval to do anything because I'm a fucking adult.
Right.
But
well, do if your friends would approve. If you brought this person around to your friends, do you think?
oh
they would
no,
approve?
hell no. One.
1.
They might be like, oh yeah, no, he's got style, but he's a shitbag, and I'd be like, you're right.
Yeah, 1. I did just doing it for the dick, doing it for the dick and the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll echo a 1. I don't after doing that example. It is who he is. That's what the king in yellow would do. The other ones would be more vicious and rude, but this one is more of like your manipulative ex.
Mm.
Anyone want to change some numbers before we go into
No, see, because of the manipulative X thing, this is a 6.
You're fucking wild, Doug.
This is about my parents. My parents would want to see me have a rich husband, and that's it.
Mm.
That's fair. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the hottie toddy rich girl coming in and like asking around. My parents don't like rich people, and my parents really like white people. So
That's fair.
I'll give it
That's so
give it a 1.
entirely fair.
So yeah, if we're not going to change any scores, I think it's time for us to read this playbook that I got in the mail and pause for some math.
No, wait, cleric.
Open the book.
Kez here. Kick up your feet, take a break. I'm here to talk at you. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting us on Ko-fi. That's Emilia G, Gav, Christian J, Daydori, Akima, and Fanza Tirawali. I forgot to upload and share the outtakes for the last few episodes, but the ones for episode 27, 28, and today's episode should now be available. You can listen to those on our Ko-fi. Just go to ko-fi.com/monsterloverpod and follow us there, or go to our Twitter @monsterloverpod. That's all from me. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
So, Joe, after reading that beautiful play that I'm going to be thinking about for years to come, what are our scores for the King in Yellow?
Our scores are, for Cleric, we have an overall of 5 for the King in Yellow. For me, a 6.6, and for Raven, a 4.3, which gives a very divisive overall average for the King in Yellow with a 5.3.
All right, he's above average. I'll take it. I think for a lot of our Eldritch Beasts, I think that's going to be the highest, because I don't think any of the Eldritch Beasts can match up to the King in Yellow, at least not shittily, unless Raven, you're making a face. You trying to challenge?
I mean, I might be, because my Eldritch Beastie he's special.
And how special is he? Who have you chosen?
I have chosen an Eldritch Beast whose name is hard to pronounce as it's supposed to be, but it's Nyarlathotep. Nyarlathotep.
Yes,
Yep,
yes.
There it is.
Don't ask me to say it again. We're just going to refer to him as Nyarla.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, fair.
Little Nyarla, very cute.
The crawling chaos.
Yeah,
perhaps.
the crawling. He's also known as the crawling chaos. Now, I'm going to say there have been descriptions written of Nyarla, but it was written by a racist ass white man in the 1920s. So I'm not going to read. I'm not going to read that. So my description is going to be a little bit different. It's more points of things that I think are important to paint the overall picture of this little beastie. And I think y'all will like that. So
Right.
The first thing that one may notice if they ever have the honor of looking upon Nyarla is that he is a man of many faces. Oftentimes they are first introduced to him, and he looks like he is a pharaoh or has come from Egypt in the times of the pharaoh. So very Egyptian features, dark skin, dark outfitting. But he is also known to have 1,000 other forms and manifestations. So he can quite literally, I think he's one of the OG shapeshifters. He can be whatever he wants to be, and because he is so flexible, you like that? That's a good word.
That's a good word. Solid word.
You may see him more than once and not even know it. But he's really different than most of the monsters in the Cthulhu mythos, because most other, old ones, or as they're actually called, the great old ones, they're exiled, or they're sleeping, they're dreaming. Nyarla is the only one who is actively walking among men.
Okay.
It's
So-
fucking crazy.
Yeah, so he is very much different in that regard, where he does have the ability to be awake, to be around, and he does speak human languages from his time on the earth, and he acts as a messenger between some of the other old gods, and he's very malicious. And what's weird is he only had one feature, poem about him, not even a short story. It was a poem that came out in the 1920s, but he's been featured relatively frequently in the literature thereafter. So he makes appearances in what's it called? Where are we?
Sucker
I don't know
for
the
Love.
story. I mean, he is in Sucker for Love too, which is ironically, it's so weird because why? But yeah, no, he's kind of like always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Right? Like, honestly, he is in the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadaf. He's in Fungi from Yugoth, and he's in the Dreams of the Witch House. So he makes appearances, but he literally only has a poem, right? But there's a little bit more of an enigmatic feel to him because he is omnipresent, but you don't know it.
Okay. Because he's always around. Like, he's with people. He's always watching these things. So no wonder he's appearing other people's stories because he's around. He's going to be looking at you in his King Tut look.
He's going to be looking at you in whatever he feels like. So he is known to take the guise of humans, right? So he will look like a human. Usually he goes for tall, slim, joyous men. But that can shift at any point. Like, that's just because that's his favorite face to wear doesn't mean that's the only face that he will wear.
Twink face.
Yeah, exactly, right?
We love a gender fluid king.
Yeah. And he's been around for about 27 centuries. So he's well versed.
He knows the techniques. He can thrust it in real good. He knows exactly what to make you to make you feel good.
Christ.
Yeah. He's but the other thing too is that all of his forms and manifestations have a very high probability of causing you to go insane.
Yep, there it is. I was about to ask because I was like, you've mentioned that he's malicious, and we're really brushing past
malicious.
that. We're rushing past somebody who he takes on a joyous look. Okay. Oh no. I have a thought about him.
Okay.
What's the thought about him?
So I'm imagining this is gonna be bad. I think this is a very triggering episode.
Oh no. It's the Eldritch episode. Okay.
Well, this is like your nice guy that you meet who, if you don't give him attention, flips on a switch and suddenly starts berating you and yelling at you.
Oh, the fuck you! You weren't even that cute.
Yeah, he's like an incel. This is just an incel, or
like another incel,
like the nice guy incel, where it's like, oh my god, I'm like, she's such a slut because I was trying to be nice to her, but then she won't even look at me. Like, what the fuck is wrong with it? Like that kind of shit.
You see, like, I can see that, but like when I look at it, it's more of a calmness and a coolness. Like, he doesn't have to try. Because the way he looks is already enticing enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it is quiet in his malice. Like, I'm not saying that he is not malicious. Absolutely. But for me, having lived on this earth and enjoying men or enjoying humans, men, women, non-binary folks, all of us, it feels like it is less of a, well, fuck you, you weren't even that cute, and more of a, it's okay, I'll wait.
I will be putting
like, you better believe that you're gonna come to me.
That's oh, I don't know if I like that. It's like, oh, you need I'm gonna put sugar in your gas tank, so I'm gonna be the one to give you a ride home, huh? Like, kind
of. Maybe I'm just looking at this because like he's just, for me, screams very like big Dom energy.
Yeah, I think he's maybe a stone top.
Yeah.
Where it's like he's just going for his own pleasure and he's just like, you are here
just
to make
curated at all times.
Yeah. But for me, it feels a little bit more quiet. And I think that's what's dangerous, right? Because he's not sending out those red flags that we know to avoid. He is very much like taking this presence of what we like by being here. He knows what we like, right? So he's that little bit of danger that we feel in like the back of our mind when we see somebody that we know looks good, but we're like, hey, wait a minute. That for me, like it's for me, he's quieter. And that's kind of the that kicker,
is pretty
right?
haunting.
That's scary. That's a different version of scary.
Yeah. For me, like, he's very psychological, right? So he is very malicious, but he doesn't have to be loud about being malicious. He's that quiet, like, I see him in like, you know, the suit and tie, right? Very Christian Grey, but less.
I was gonna say,
yeah. Very Christian Grey, less cringe, but he's the one who's like sitting and like when you see like a picture of him, it's literally him sitting back with his legs open, like an old fashioned, and he's loosening his tie and he's like pointing to the ground at you and you're like, oh fuck, okay. I guess I'm going, yes sir. Yes sir. Yes, sir.
He's the kind of
and
guy.
when you just lose your fucking mind. Like, he will fuck you until you lose your mind.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, just keep imagining the guy who, like a CEO who, like, just slowly just starts boxing you in a way of, like...
Just starts boxing you?
No,
just starts fighting
like,
you?
Just starts fucking throwing haymakers out of nowhere. No. Who just, like, slowly, like, hey, you just got a promotion and you'll be working as my assistant. Like, hey,
yeah.
I didn't even send in an application to this fucking place. What are you talking about?
Hey, you know your job that your boyfriend's working at? So sorry, he's actually getting transferred. It's so odd. And then, like, until you slowly, he's your only one there, and then he fucks you into the ground, into insanity. These are not good things, everyone. I want to be very clear that we're not describing a good thing.
No, this is not good. It's manipulative. He's very manipulative.
Joe,
this is why he's the girl boss of the episode.
He's the girl boss. I was going to say, we found our girl boss. We got our gaslighter. We found our girl boss.
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now knowing what we know, that makes sense. But yeah, like I found a quote and I'm going to read it.
Okay.
Yes, please.
And through this revolting graveyard of the universe, the muffled, maddening beating of drums and thin, monotonous whine of blasphemous flutes from inconceivable, unlighted chambers beyond time. The detestable pounding and piping whereunto dance slowly, awkwardly, and absurdly. The gigantic, tenebrous, I don't know how to say that word, ultimate gods. The blind, voiceless, mindless gargoyles whose soul is Nyarlathotep. That's a hard thing to say. So for me that reads like he is the quiet, like he is always omnipresent, and whenever there is like chaos going on, he's there.
That's
he's the one
wild.
that, like, you've seen pictures of, like they like the conspiracy theorists,
like,
where they take pictures of like the
major event. He's there. That's who he is. And so it's for me, it's terrifying. Like, that is freakishly terrifying. That is genuinely very scary. And I think that's a good segue into the Popo scale for us to start talking about how possible and stuff this is. Because with what you've described, where he is everywhere, he is omnipresent, he is among humans, this might make him more possible than the King in Yellow. Genuinely. That is, like, he's around, he's constantly influencing, he's the only one that's awake. I'll give this a 7. You have a good chance of meeting him.
I would love to hear, Raven, what you have in mind, because I'm back and forth.
I think I'm going to give him an 8.5, because if he wants to meet you, he will.
He could. Yeah, that is very true. I'm going to cup out and go 8.
Very fair. I think all this is super fair for it. What I will say for attractiveness, this is not attractive to me at all. This is more frightening. And this is more, even like, this is an attractive man, just like CEO walking up to me. CEOs scare me regularly. And now you're adding Christian Grey fucking mental games into it. Adding, like, what is it? The guy from You plus Christian Grey, adding them together. That's too much white. I can't deal with it. I'm giving this a 3.
Well, so the thing is like, they say that he's black.
Right. And that he's like effervescent and like can change and whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations of like, this person is unfortunately attractive.
I don't know. I'm going to keep it with a 3. It's just the CEO.
I think it's
Christian
that the
Grey
vibes. Vibes are important too. So absolutely.
He's hot though. That's why it's not a 1. He's very hot. I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to give him, I am going to give him a 10, because I know that he knows that if he shows up, he's going to look like something or somebody that I'm very into.
Wow.
So if I'm just going based off of very physical attraction, then he going to play me like a fiddle.
Damn.
Don't mean I'm not going to walk away, because if there's nothing between the ears, you know what I'm saying? I'm walking away.
Damn. You getting folded easy, huh?
I mean, yes,
Damn.
but I'm not gonna call him again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Fuck.
That's wild. That's wild. A 10 is wild.
It's fair. I'm gonna go. I am generally interested in this like type of creature, type of character, I guess, but it is one of those, like, if I had the choice to choose between two monsters, one of them is Nyarlathotep, who's like, you know, suave or whatever, is a shapeshifter, and the other one is someone that is generally a metaphor for emotional vulnerability versus like, you know, like maybe like a lycanthrope or something. I'm gonna go lycanthrope, even like, because Nyarlathotep goes for the more, what I like is to be unexpected, or to feel surprised about being attracted to certain things, because a lot of, I think, monstrosity can surprise you, and like ugliness, or like, you know, a wide variety of features. So let's give the crawling chaos a 6.
Okay.
Let's do that.
They're fair. We got a variety across the board for attractiveness. But now we're coming back down to audacity, how audacious it is to be with this person or be with this monster. This is pretty fucking audacious. I'm gonna be real right now. This is fucking wild.
Yeah, oh my god. Fuck.
I'm giving this
the audacity.
I'm giving it a 1. It's fucking audacious.
Oh, interesting.
It's like, even if it was like that, even if it's not the CEO or it's like the most attractive person you know walking up to you and influencing you, this is an eldritch being who's stones hopping you all the way. There is no love, there is no affection. They are fucking you, getting off, throwing you a cum rag, and then leaving and telling you to get out. I've already ordered.
They're not even throwing you a cum rag. Like, you are literally going to be fucked into insanity.
Yep.
Like, you're not leaving that room.
You're done. You're like chained up, fucking for days, and then when they're done with you, throw you out in a little truck bed.
I am going to give him, based off that logic, a 3.
I was going to say 3 as well, because I personally think that my pick might be a little bit more audacious than everybody, I think.
Then I'll you know what, I'll triple it down, do another 3. I do think I won't do a 1 because I think I've given a 1 already, and I don't want to do that. It's like, it's possible. You
haven't given a 1. Oh, you gave a parental acceptance as a 1. Sorry.
I'll do like I'll probably do another 1 later, but I also just think like, hey, he is around. It is possible. He is around. It is fucking crazy to do, but it's
fucking crazy. Yeah.
Parental acceptance. No. No, actually, it would be yes.
It feels decent. It feels like it would be a hit or miss, but the fact that it could be a hit is huge. I'm going to say 4.
Yeah, they're going to choose a form that your parents would like or your friends would like, and they know how to
exactly
do and charm. Yeah. I'll get this a 5. I'll do straight up 5.
And I'm gonna say 6.5, because the only reason why is because he has spent so much time on this earth, so he truly does know how to manipulate like nobody's business.
Nobody's business.
How do you live that long on the earth, take the faces and forms of whatever you want, and not know how to directly impact people?
Right.
Shout out to the girl boss right now. Shout out.
Incredible. All right.
You got the scores, Joel? We got to pause for math.
Yes.
You want to pause for math?
Let's pause for some math.
I'm sorry. This very attractive stranger just came up to me. Hold on. I want to talk to them real quick.
And offered me some math.
Offered me some fucking math. Hold on. Everyone, let's pause while I do some math.
Nyarla, is that you?
Why are you offering math?
So
after I put away that math, I say no to drug kids. I've never done a drug in a day in my life.
Okay. Anyway. So the scores for cleric, Nyarlathotep gets a 4.5, for me a 5.3, and for Raven a 7, which gives Nyarlathotep a 5.6 overall.
Oh, that's some horseshit.
0.3 above King and Yellow.
Remember that one time when you said that you were going to hold it over my head?
Shut the fuck up. You have one win, maybe. 1. I have an entire show. Fuck out of here.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Well, first we got to see where it ranks up against Joe's monster. So Joe, we've talked about the gaslighting. We've talked about girl bossing. Who are you going to gatekeeping?
What?
Who you picking for gatekeeping?
I will be choosing a very fun, very flirty version of Cthulhu by the name of Lynetta. And we have been talking about Sucker for Love, but I am specifically bringing the Sucker for Love version of Cthulhu. Lynetta is a pink, tentacled cosmic entity and questionably romanceable interest in the horror dating sim Sucker for Love. Voluptuous and large-breasted, her demeanor changes from seductive and menacing to adorably embarrassed when you, as the player, brusquely reveal you simply want to kiss her. Throughout the game, her hypnotic commands leads you into madness, transformation, bodily harm, animal sacrifice, and more. But eventually, you get that kiss for your hubris. Have you ever wanted to just take a tentacled monster and just squeeze it?
Yeah.
Any part of its body?
Yep.
Any part.
You've picked the safest choice. I mean that in the choice of your monster and the choice of game. Because if you're doing actual Cthulhu, that thing sucks. Fucking Cthulhu sucks. For the third time this episode, hey yo, fuck you, H.P. Lovecraft, you piece of shit.
What's wrong with you?
You're sick. You're sick. But Lilith, on the other hand, I got no problem with her. Or Lillian, or whatever.
Who the fuck are you talking about? Lynetta?
Lynetta, there it is.
Lillian?
Wow.
I wasn't listening to your description at all. I want to make that very clear to everybody.
She's pink. She's squishy. She looks like a big pussy walking kind of woman.
What?
And all women are... just kidding.
Listen,
Happy Women's History Month. Happy Women's History Month, everyone.
What?
No, she's so cute. Like, even in the beginning, like the voice actor, like she comes in and she's just like, this is the fucking Call of Cthulhu. And then you're just like, can we kiss? Please, 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 please. And then she gets flustered, and I'd like to see real Cthulhu do that shit. I want anime girl Cthulhu, little mini skirt, squishy head.
Well, here's the thing, and it's something I want to bring up, is that that's not her true form at all.
I know.
It's like if you look outside, which she tells you constantly not to do, and you see the world falling apart.
Don't look outside.
With all the tentacles coming out, like her actual giant tentacle form. So you still have to take that into account. Just because she has like an avatar, just like with the King in Yellow, like there's or even the crawling old one has a form in Sucker for Love. That's not their actual form. If you look outside when you're doing their quest, you can see what they actually look like, which is that giant tentacle monster. Squid tentacles, not octopus tentacles like the fucking King in Yellow. You know that she's going to give you a fucking tentacle enema.
Is that not just fucking, just general tentacle fucking?
Right.
Or is it like squid ink, like ink or something that is happening? Do octopi ink?
Octopuses ink. Squids don't, I think.
Ink.
No, squids
do ink.
Squids ink.
I'm going to Google. Do squids
do octopus ink?
Squids
can I put octopus ink in my
is Cthulhu
pussy?
a squid or an octopus?
Cthulhu's a squid. King in Yellow.
Octopus
is
and
an
squid,
octopus.
both ink. Just so you know.
Now type in, can I put ink in my bussy?
I swear to God, I'll do it. Google's gonna knock on my door like, you want these products, right?
Yeah, these
Ovipositors.
Ovipositors. Shout out to ovipositors. There's something.
I'm Avi positive. Anyway, so the major fun thing for me with Cthulhu is that Cthulhu may be the one that the cosmic entity that I'm perhaps the most devastatingly afraid of, actually. Like Cthulhu really works for me, setting off like every survival instinct I have. Because just reading off of the Wikipedia, both reference a huge aquatic creature sleeping for an eternity at the bottom of the ocean and destined to emerge from its slumber in an apocalyptic age. This is a pure revelations creature, who dreams, and you just better fucking hope it never wakes up. And that's so terrifying. I think I have cried thinking about Cthulhu before, or like having a nightmare, that kind of thing, because I'm scared of the ocean, scared of deep sea creatures, especially deep sea ass creatures. And there's something so almost, I guess, exposure therapy about Cthulhu being a beautiful, like, young woman.
I mean, we always say, fuck
That's
your fears.
a good point.
Fuck your fears.
No, that's a really good point, though, to kind of like take that fear and then see it almost like, I don't know, like the impact of the impact of it isn't nearly as terrifying because they truly have created a friendly avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like cosmic entities in this day and age would just absolutely do that shit. Like, I'll just imagine just thinking about like these friendly avatars approaching. Nyarlathotep shows up, is like this cute girl, whatever, and then all of a sudden, I want to show you who I really am. You go fully insane seeing their full form because it's like such a fucking like mind fuck all at once. It's effective, honestly. I will say that.
I mean, it's one of those things where I think the definition of dichotomy, where you have this cute avatar that welcomes you into the world of the insane. And I think that's fair. And I think Lillian, or whatever the fuck her name is. Lynetta. Whatever.
Jesus.
Get off my dick. Lynetta is a really cool, it was one of my favorites when we played Sucker for Love. Shout out to the stream. Was one of my favorites because she had the bubbly, kind personality, but there was this dark undertone to her being like, don't disobey me. Don't. Like, you want a kiss? You want love? I'll give that to you. But if you disobey me, you look out that window, you come into me while I'm showering, I will end your world.
Showering. When you look at the spell to like get rid of like cosmic creatures, I forget what it was specifically, but she just like shuts the book so fast in front of you. It's like, it's so genuinely stressful. So this is why she's a gatekeeper.
And
yeah. Because I remember trying to break up with her, and that bitch said,
yeah,
she killed me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, oh, damn, I'm into it.
And she speeds you up. She's the one that's really on a timeline. Like the King in Yellow, you even take your time doing the play and getting ready for it. She's the one like, listen, as soon as we start, you need to keep going. Like, I'm not stopping. Like, if you really want to be with me, you need to keep fucking going. Go again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, she's a love bomber. No,
she's a love bomber.
Yikes.
All right. Yeah, she's like trying to form a relationship like instantaneously. She's like, oh, you want to kiss me? Okay, perfect. Then it means we should get together and you should help me end the world. But keep looking at me. Don't worry. Imagine I'm going to stick my tentacle up your little urethra. Come on. Hee hee.
Another crazy thing that I think the major Call of Cthulhu story is that because Cthulhu itself is just so grounded in like nature, like deep nature. There's the Horror and Clay, the Tale of Inspector Lacrosse, and the Madness from the Sea. All of that kind of, as far as I remember and understand, all of that really comes from like naturistic settings and environments. And it's like, oh, there's like a half of this that's like, oh, I'm safe then because I don't go fucking outside. But then there's the dreams. And if you are half asleep in the presence of Cthulhu, you are fucked because that's just like that's basically a half open door to get in. So, but hey, there's orgies.
I mean, orgies, but as somebody who's chronically asleep at all times, this is
I love my sleep. I love my sleep. That's terrifying.
I do love my sleep. I have such a horrible sleeping schedule. So a cosmic entity could really take advantage of that. But is it not worth it if the cosmic entity shows up as a cute girl like once and then that's it and then you die?
Again, death is not a great end all be all to things. I don't know how many times I have to keep bringing this up, how death is not the best. But you know, you live your life, I guess.
So this being said, how about we think about, given Cthulhu is asleep at the bottom of the ocean, and will only appear in apocalyptic times, how possible
are we thinking?
Well, I mean, considering, you know, the state of the world and where we are, it's not too far away from being possible.
That is...
I don't think it's exactly a 1. I don't think it's a 2, though.
I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't think it is the least possible, but I don't think it is any more than just above the least possible.
Right. I think we're looking at a 1.5.
It's got to be a 1.5.
Yeah. 1.5's across the board.
Triple it.
Yes,
Triple it down. Attractiveness. Cthulhu itself, gross. Disgusting.
Fear.
Squid.
Fear in my heart.
Lily Willy, hot. Bubbly. Also has tentacles up your butthole. I'm giving this an 8.
I wasn't expecting that high. That's hilarious. God, I'm gonna say 7 personally, because I think I do just enjoy. There is, I think there can be something kind of artistically beautiful about renditions of Cthulhu, especially if we think about like Japanese traditional art with like octopi fucking women. I feel like that's pretty iconic. I can get past certain things. It can never breach, I think, 7.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I too, I'm gonna say 7 because like I'm thinking of Lynetta specifically, but then I also know who she is and what that means for me as the player. Yeah. Even though, you know, the character that you are playing is a very typical, like, you know what, don't worry about it. Typical dude, like, oh, I just want to kiss, right? Like that kind of shit. But she's cute, but I also know that she's vicious. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like, I really do like some like darkness boiling under the surface. Mm.
Yeah.
But that's more than a little.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I say I'm not attracted to her, I'm going to lose my life right then and there. So we'll just go with that.
Love bombing is definitely a factor here, which I think brings up to audacity.
1. This is a 1. Because the apocalypse is actively coming, and you would have to ally yourself with her, and that's crazy. That's insane.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not with it. It's gonna be murdering me no matter what. Mm-hmm. So I think it's 1. Audacity. Do you agree with that score, Raven, or do you think it's something else?
I do. I think that's accurate. Yeah.
So finally, parental approval. If we brought this person to our parents or to our friends, would they approve? No.
I think my friends would approve a little bit. I think they'd be pretty down to get into it.
Are we turning into cultists?
I mean,
yeah,
sure.
I think I could see that with parents.
I think the red flags of the love bombing be like, you should only be looking at me. Why are you even talking to your parents? I mean, your parents aren't like that important. You should be only focused on me.
You know? Yeah. I think if that were to happen, like in front of my you know, familial unit, that would be a no-no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm giving this a 2.
Hilariously, also a 2.
I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
That's so fair.
All right, so we got our scores for Tentacle Lily.
Go do it. Got it. All
if
right,
you guys can excuse, we're gonna pause real quick. I just got a little tentacle coming up my leg real quick, and I'm just gonna see what this is all about.
Christ.
Oh!
Don't go, Cleric! Don't do it!
Oh God! So, yeah, a little bit of a tentacle situation.
You got a little tentacle climbing out of your urethra, Cleric. You might want to.
Yeah, let me just tuck it back in. All right, thanks for that. Joe, can you read off the scores?
Tuck it back in. Yeah, sure.
Sorry,
for Lynetta Cleric, an overall score of 3.1, for me a 2.9, and for Raven a 2.8, which gives Lynetta, the female Cthulhu, a 2.9 overall for us today, which is the same score, as a little fun fact, as Baphomet.
Yeah, stay in the trash.
I love Baffy.
Stay in the trash. Yeah. Stay in the trash. That's where your pigs belong, Joe. Remember that.
Thanks so much. Thank you. So why don't we go over the top to the bottom winners and losers for today? So our winner, our top placement is going to be Nyarlathotep with a 5.6, Raven's choice.
Some bullshit. I demand a recount.
Thank you. Shut up.
For Cleric, at our second place for today, a 5.3 with King in Yellow, and for me, unfortunate loser, a 2.9.
How unfortunate it is if you keep losing, huh? How unfortunate is it? That's where you win.
It's fine. My life doesn't gravitate around whether or not I lose, just like a basic kind of like numbers game, to be honest.
Damn. Shut down.
Shut the fuck up, all right? Let's
Me neither.
I never cared. Because there's like a poster behind me with all the scores. They just keep saying, I win, I win. Fuck you. Anyways, we got some closing thoughts. Raven, thank you so much for joining us. This was a lovely, fun episode.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I love this. This was so much fun.
We had horny, we had informative, and we had historical, the 5 H's.
Yeah.
So Raven, tell the people where they can find you, what you're doing, who you are, all that kind of jazz.
Informative.
Shut the fuck up and let Raven talk.
I like that. That was good. You can find me all over the internet at RekItRaven, except on TikTok. It's rekit.raven.
Damn, no brand synergy? That's crazy.
Shut your whore mouth. Jesus.
Don't worry, we'll kill Cleric after the episode. Don't worry.
Perfect. What do you think I put the tentacle out there for? Anyway, you all can catch me at PAX East at the end of this month. I will be on 6 panels, so come check me out.
Oh my God.
Come say hi. Yeah, I'm doing a lot. If you can't, at least 2 of those panels are going to be streamed. I do have some TTRPG stuff up in the works, but for now, you can find me Tuesdays on twitch.tv/cantripbreakers at 1 p.m. Eastern. I am playing Nyarlathotep, who is a monster in her own right. She is a fallen Aasimar Oath of Vengeance paladin, and she has been through it. She is very lawful evil, definitely not how a paladin should be played. And there's a couple of other really fun TTRPG things that are coming up. So make sure you follow me on Twitter.
Ooh,
and thanks again for having me. Please, this was amazing.
Yeah, of course. We'd love to have
Raven.
you back.
Yeah.
I'm also going to PAX East.
Sorry. Yes, I didn't know that didn't happen. I'm excited.
Some bullshit.
It's gonna be fun.
I will not be going to PAX East, so don't.
Sucks for you. I don't care.
All right. Well, with that, my friends all bashing me. Time for us to sign off and let the eldritch gods do with their insanity with us. We all ready to say bye?
Yeah. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget me by my name, even if it's all a game. Your words will remain when you said that I was your ambition. I don't know reality or fiction, no. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no.
Oh, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
End the recording.
I gotta go.
Yeah, just had it.
Yep, that's it.
Don't
I
end
gotta
it. Don't leave.
Don't fucking leave.
Please.